Welcome to the first edition of a regular segment in the next show. Okay, imagine. It is the near future. Amid an increasingly acute crisis on planet Earth, which is not so hard to realize right now, a crack team of humans finalize a daring plan to start a new chapter for humanity. They will travel, along with 1,000 specially selected people, far beyond the solar system to planet next one. There, they will establish a permanent base, a new society, a new home for human beings. So, thanks to our outstanding achievements, you have been chosen, and you, I'm talking to you, David, but also to everybody who's listening, to be among the first 1,000 pioneers to travel to next one. And we have 5 questions for you. Question number 1.
Name one luxury physical object you want to take to your new home.
Okay, one luxury physical object. Now, I've thought very carefully about this. My whole life, I have been a dishwasher. When I was growing up, it was always my job to wash the dishes. We didn't have a dishwasher, so dishwashing was my job. And I took that off into my adult life. I've always been the dishwasher, never the cook. I'm always the one who's like, you cook and I'll wash the dishes. So when I finally moved into a house where we had a dishwasher, that was a revelation for me. A dishwasher is my favorite piece of technology. When I close the dishwasher, I still have this feeling of magic, like, wow, I've saved myself 45 minutes there. But then at the last minute, I realized there probably will be dishwashers on planet next one. So what I want to take to this, what I assume will be very high-tech society, at least eventually, is a pen. I had a tutor at university, a guy called Richard Rex, who was like a early modern English history specialist. And he said to me once, the thing is, you can't really think without a pen in your hand. And I find that to be very true. Like people, he meant people like us, people, sort of Gutenberg people who are taught to read and write at a very young age. You can't really think without a pen in your hand. So if I go to next one and there are no pens, I'm not going to be able to think at all. I can't think with a phone in my hand. Even if I'm sitting at my laptop, I'm writing, I'm sitting there with a pen in my hand, thinking my thoughts. So my luxury item is a pen.
We Gutenberg people, I've never thought of myself that way. But okay, you take a pen. Don't forget to tell somebody to bring paper. Anyway, question number 2.
Name one exceptional person who should qualify to be among the first 1,000 pioneers.
Okay, my exceptional person, I wanted to be a writer, and my initial thought was the brilliant novelist Karl Ove Knausgaard, who we all know wrote this incredible series of novels under the title My Struggle, all about his life and his family, and it was absolutely amazing. And I thought it would be great to bring Knausgaard along to next one to chronicle the trip and write this amazing series of books about this society as it emerges and as it grows. But then I realized that his writing this series of novels did lead to the catastrophic breakdown of his family and his marriage and so on. And if I bring him to next one and he's on board the ship and he gets to the planet, he's going to be writing about this society and who's having an affair with who and who's arguing with who and all this stuff. And it's going to be chaos, and it will probably lead to the breakdown of next one. So at the last minute, I changed my mind. I would like to bring the British philosopher John Gray, who I think is probably the greatest living philosopher in the English language. And John Gray, his whole position is about pessimism when it comes to human beings and their ability to make progress and to kind of extricate themselves from their original nature. So it taps into a lot of what we were talking about before, and I think he would help keep us grounded on next one and help remind us that we're still human beings. We still have to pay attention to who we are and how we think. So John Gray is my answer.
So of all the people you can take, you take a philosopher.
Yes.
I swear I would take an entertainer, an entertainer. Next question.
Create one law that bans something from our new world forever. Explain.
Okay, originally I thought I would ban social media, but then I do use social media myself. I thought I would try to ban social media influencers, but that maybe seemed a bit unfair. So I've arrived at what is perhaps a controversial answer. I would like to ban on next one, private schooling. And I'm influenced here by Plato's Republic. In the Republic, Plato says, if you want to build the perfect society, the first thing you need to look at is the education of your children. So I would like to make sure on next one, everyone is educated together. No one goes off and is educated separately. We're all educated together on next one. We can inculcate a community spirit in our children. I have many lovely friends who are educated at private school. But I do think that there can be a link sometimes between private schooling and bad governance, and that we're seeing that in the United Kingdom right now. We don't want any of that on next one. So I would like to ban private schooling on next one.
Okay, I'm just telling you, for this, you don't have to move to next one. You could move to the Netherlands, which, anyway, next question.
Explain one truth about human nature, or one ethical principle to live by, that you have learned from experience.
Okay, one principle to live by. I spend my life, or I've spent the last 8 years of my life talking about innovation and talking about change, and that's been wonderful. I think we've become a bit obsessed with innovation and change. And the principle I would like to present to the people of next one is about tradition. Pay attention to tradition. Traditions are there for a reason. Even if we disagree with them, even if they seemingly don't make sense to us, it is always valuable to try to understand why traditions are there and why people have traditionally done things the way they have. So let's pay attention to tradition, the traditions that we bring with us from planet Earth and the new traditions we create. Doesn't mean we can't change, doesn't mean we can't innovate, it just means we pay attention to our history. Pay attention to tradition is my principle to live by.
Oh, thank you. Very interesting. Now, the last question is a very special one.
Identify a question to ask next week's pioneer, who will be Hideo Kojima.
Okay, I happen to know that next week's guest is the amazing thinker and newsletter writer Benedict Evans. It said XYZ on the slide, but it's not XYZ, it's Benedict Evans. He writes an amazing newsletter on technology and innovation, read by 140,000 people, including me. I would like to ask him, should social media be regulated on next one, and why or why not?